I'm glad to say welcome this morning to the back porch. I'm happy to be here. It is the 3rd of July, and I want to tell everybody a happy 4th of July, which is tomorrow. But this is the weekend we celebrate, or this is the time of the year we celebrate the independence of America. Independence from Britain's rule, of tyranny rule, amen, and freedom, a freedom of choice. And I'm glad that we live in a country that we have that freedom. We have maybe not a very good understanding of what it's like to live in a country where you don't have choices to be able to go where you want to go, work where you want to work, visit where you want to visit, or even continue your education if you want to continue it, or even where you want to worship or you don't want to worship. Amen. And I'm glad to be that born in a country. Those freedoms are so readily available, they're almost taken for granted. Amen. But happy 4th of July. 21 years ago today, I met my wife. Met her up in Connersville, Indiana at a hog roast Brother Sam Jones would put on. And I thought she was the prettiest lady ever was, and she still is. But she had awful tan legs, amen, that, below her skirt there. But her face was so red. I thought she'd got sunburnt. And here, the 4th of July, the next day, her face wasn't that red anymore. And she was just embarrassed. I was glad I was there before she was. Amen. But I am so glad to have a good wife, and I have two wonderful children. I love them very much. But I want to talk about freedom. And freedom today, people think that they should have freedom to do whatever they want. Um, you're right. You have the freedom to do what you want, but there's always accountability for the choices you make. I want to read here in John chapter 8, verses 31 through 36. It says, Then Jesus said to those Jews which believed on him, If ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, We be of Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be free? Jesus answered them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And a servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth ever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. Amen. If you take a notice here, Jesus was talking to people who believed on him, and he said, If you continue in my word, you'll be my disciples, and you'll know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. They didn't like that statement, even though they were following Christ. They did not like the statement of the truth will set you free. They said, We've never been in bondage. And a lot of people will say, I've never been in bondage. Amen. But listen, if you're sinning, you're in bondage. You have not been set free. Amen. From your uh, the devil ways, if you will, or your fleshly ways, or just ways. Look, I live there. I know what it's like to live there. I know when you don't want to do something and you can't help but do it. Amen. And when you get free from that, that's freedom. Amen. And then I thought here in 1 Peter chapter 2, it talks about that freedom, us having. Amen. It says here in 13th verse, I'll start reading. It says, Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. Seems like we got that a little backwards right now. Anyhow, for so is the will of God, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. I think we need to practice that one a little bit more. Now, here it says, as free, not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as servants of God. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Amen. We are to honor the ones who are in rule over us, who have power over us. Amen. And we should be subject to laws that are honest and good, but laws that are not honest and good and they're immoral, I don't believe we're subject to be in subjection to them. Amen. But we are to be good servants, good citizens. Amen. And This is Independence Day weekend. And if you have got your true independence, it doesn't matter what country you live in. Amen. You have been set free. I know my day of independence was January 29th, 1997. That is when I was set free from tyranny. Amen. The tyranny of the enemy of my soul who was trying to destroy me. And I thank God for setting me free. That is my Independence Day. Amen. That is my day of liberty. But I live in a country that men stood up and women stood up of all race and creed and every ethnicity and stood up and have came to the call of this nation for the freedom of the people who live here. I know I've talked a little longer, but I want to say happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. Be safe, have fun. We love y'all. This is Brother Eual. Goodbye.